a reef reborn into a fortress. In the South China Sea, China is dredging, building, expanding, turning Antelope Reef into a potential military giant after years of quiet. Runways, missiles, surveillance, power rising from sand. But as rivals push back, is this deterrence or the start of a new flashpoint? After nearly a decade of relative quiet, China is once again accelerating construction in the South China Sea, reviving a controversial strategy and transforming a little-known reef into what could become its largest military outpost in the region. New developments at Antelope Reef suggest a significant expansion of Beijing's presence. Satellite imagery has revealed that the site now features jetties, a helipad, multiple structures, and a newly formed coastline that appears suitable for a runway. Analysts also say the construction could include missile installations and enhanced surveillance systems, strengthening China's operational reach. Located in the Paracel Islands, an area firmly held by China but also claimed by Vietnam and Taiwan, the development has surprised observers, especially given the long pause in large-scale construction. Its proximity to the mainland may also allow for expanded civilian infrastructure, reinforcing China's claims over the disputed waters. The South China Sea has long been a flashpoint, with competing claims from several regional powers. China's extensive island-building campaign has already reshaped the strategic landscape, giving it control over key maritime routes that would be critical in any potential conflict involving Taiwan. The United States has backed regional players, including the Philippines, in challenging Beijing's claims. But recent tensions have largely centered on Scarborough Shoal and the Spratly Islands further south. Vietnam, in particular, has been expanding its own presence in the Spratlys, rapidly reclaiming land and building infrastructure. Analysts suggest China's renewed activity could be a direct response. Harrison Prater of the Asia Maritime Transparency Initiative described the move as a notable shift.
This is the first time in a long time that they have reopened this basket of being able to build islands extremely large and extremely quickly. This could be a response to show Vietnam, and maybe show others that China's not going to be outdone, and they're not going to sit by while someone else builds up their own outposts.
According to analysis by the Center for Strategic and International Studies, the reclaimed land at Antelope Reef has already reached approximately 1,490 acres, comparable to Mischief Reef, China's largest outpost in the Spratlys. This rapid expansion underscores the scale and pace of the project. Vietnam's foreign ministry has formally protested the construction.
Any foreign activities in the Paracels without Vietnamese permission are illegal.
China, however, maintains that the Paracel Islands are its inherent territory.
The Sisha Islands are an inherent part of China's territory, and there is no dispute about it. China's necessary construction activities on its own territory are aimed at improving the living conditions of the island's residents and serving local economic development.
While there is no definitive international ruling on sovereignty over the Paracels, a 2016 tribunal decision in The Hague rejected the legal basis of China's broader maritime claims in the South China Sea. Despite this, construction has continued. Experts say the new facilities at Antelope Reef could serve both strategic and logistical purposes. A dredged lagoon may accommodate naval vessels, including submarines and large ships, while the location could prove particularly valuable in the event of high-intensity conflict. Compared to the more distant Spratly outposts, bases in the Paracels are closer to the Chinese mainland and less vulnerable to isolation. The United States has repeatedly criticized China's island-building efforts, arguing that they undermine international maritime law. American officials have also raised concerns about the broader implications for regional stability. China's evolving military posture near the Taiwan Strait is drawing renewed scrutiny, with fresh evidence pointing to a broadening mix of unconventional tactics and strategic preparations. According to the Mitchell Institute for Aerospace Studies, satellite imagery has identified obsolete supersonic fighters converted into drones at 6 airbases close to the Taiwan Strait. The aircraft, believed to be modified J-6 fighters dating back to the 1960s, have been spotted across 5 bases in Fujian Province and 1 in Guangdong Province. The Arlington-based institute estimates that China's military, the People's Liberation Army, has deployed more than 200 of these converted platforms, leading experts to question whether China is planning to invade Taiwan.
These jets-turned drones would fly into targets in the opening phase of an assault on Taiwan. They would be used more like cruise missiles than autonomous or remotely controlled unmanned aerial vehicles. They will attack Taiwan, US, or allied targets in large numbers, effectively overwhelming air defences.
A senior Taiwanese security official said the key purpose of these drones is to exhaust Taiwan's air defense systems in the first wave of an attack. To prevent China from striking high-value targets, the officials said Taiwan will inevitably face the cost-efficiency issue of using expensive missiles to intercept them at a distance. In a report to Parliament this week, Taiwan's Defense Ministry outlined plans to acquire a new generation of counter-drone systems rapidly. Taiwan's Defense Ministry referred Reuters to a 2022 report by its think tank, the Institute for National Defense and Security Research, which referred to these drones as a form of asymmetric warfare that cannot be ignored. Beyond aerial capabilities, unusual maritime activity has also attracted attention. Large formations of Chinese fishing vessels have been observed in the East China Sea in recent months, with some gatherings involving up to 2,000 boats arranged in geometric patterns. Experts say such formations are highly atypical for commercial fishing operations and may indicate coordinated, state-directed activity. Earlier this month, Jason Wang, Chief Operating Officer of Ingenie Space, which analyses satellite imagery and ship signals data, told France 24 that he could see the roughly 2,000 fishing boats among the many thousands of vessels that ply the busy waterway through their automatic identification systems, a GPS-type signal that commercial ships use to avoid collisions. The vessels, which were as close as 500 meters or 1,640 feet to each other, held their positions for about 30 hours in near gale-force winds and then suddenly scattered.
Something didn't look right to me because, in nature, very rarely do you see straight lines. We've seen like 200, 300, up to 1,000 Chinese fishing boats congregate, but anything exceeding 1,000 I thought was unusual.
Analysts suggest these vessels could be part of China's maritime militia, a civilian fleet trained to support military objectives. Their potential roles in a conflict could range from logistical support to acting as decoys or participating in blockades. Observers note that China's navy alone may lack sufficient amphibious capacity for a full-scale invasion, making the mobilization of civilian vessels a significant force multiplier. Meanwhile, Taiwanese officials have expressed concern over the implications of such tactics. Taiwan officials say Beijing's resumption of large-scale Air Force incursions near Taiwan after an unusual drop-off shows China wants to take advantage of US forces redeploying from East Asia to bolster the war effort in the Middle East.
This is a moment for China to exercise influence. What China is trying to create is a sense that when the US shifts forces away and Indo-Pacific strength is redirected to the Middle East, tension and instability should be manufactured.
As tensions persist across the Taiwan Strait, these developments highlight the increasingly multifaceted nature of modern military planning in the region. Whether through drone swarms or maritime coordination, the emphasis appears to be on scale, flexibility, and the ability to apply sustained pressure, leaving a critical question hanging over the region. How prepared are Taiwan and its partners to respond to a challenge that may arrive not as a single strike, but as an overwhelming wave?